Hey, what's up, beat? OPERATIONiDROID here, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you 3 tips to reduce the lag in NDS4IOS. Now, remember, NDS4IOS is an application that's still in beta from the moment that this video is made, which means that it's not complete and it's not going to be the best. But NDS4IOS has made some good progress throughout time, and I feel that this is a good video to make to help some of you guys that need a little boost in FPS. Now, NDS4IOS will only run full speed on A7 devices. Now, you can look up what devices those are, but for example, that's like the iPhone 5S and iPad Air. Any device that was made before that is not going to run at full speed, and the things that you're going to do here is not going to give you a huge boost in FPS, but it will help a little bit for those of you that really want to use NDS4IOS. So without any further ado, let's get into those tips. Alright, so I'm going to be giving you these tips, but don't use my FPS as reference because I'm using a screen recorder to record my screen, and that makes the FPS suffer. But anyways, let me open NDS4IOS, and I'm first going to show you the settings that I have right now. These are the default settings that NDS4IOS gives you, and I'm going to be working from here to show you these 3 tips. I'm using an iPad 3, so it's not the strongest device, and I'm definitely not going to get full speed, but I'll just be showing you these 3 tips using this iDevice. But anyways, as you can see, I'm opening up NDS4IOS right now, and I'm just going to show you the FPS that I'm getting right now. You can use these as reference, but as you can see, my FPS is really inconsistent, and that's because of the fact, well, there's 2 things. I'm recording my screen, and the second thing is the first tip I'm going to show you. Now, this first tip is probably the most important one that a lot of people don't do, and it could really help your FPS by increasing it by 1 or 2, mostly 2. So what it is that you should double tap your home button and go to your multitasking bar, and before you ever open NDS4IOS, make sure that you've cleared your multitasking bar completely, because this will help NDS4IOS run better. And that's the first tip that I'm going to be giving you. Now I'm going to go back into NDS4IOS and show you that my FPS has increased a little bit because of that, but of course, because I'm recording my screen, you can't really see the significance. All you're going to see now is that I've been bumped up to 22 FPS, but doing this, you guys should be able to get 2 to 3 more frames per second, which in the long run is something that will help out you guys using, for example, the iPhone 5 or the iPhone 5C that are really close to being full speed but just aren't there yet. But anyways, let's move on to the second tip. Now, the second tip is to disable sound, and to disable sound you have to go into the settings of NDS4IOS, and all you have to do is turn that switch on right below frame skip and disable sound. Now, what disabling sound allows you to do is that it stops the emulator from having to emulate the sound, therefore giving it more power to emulate the actual game. So as you can see now, my FPS has bumped up all the way to 24. So disabling sound also gives you like 2 to 3 more frames per second, which is already, combining the 2 tips that I've given you, is already like 4 FPS, and if you're lucky, that's 5 FPS. Now, the last tip that I'm going to give you, and you can modify this one however you like, is again, we're going to go into the settings and work with the frame skip. So what frame skip allows you to do is basically it skips frames to make the emulator look like it's running faster. It's usually on auto, so you won't see a significant change, but the best thing would be to put it at the highest number possible, and then that will make your game look like it's running faster, and it kind of is, but at the same time it really isn't. But with these 3 tips, hopefully you guys will be able to get some better FPS than you were getting before and reduce the lag just a little bit when playing NDS4IOS, especially for you guys using A6 devices that are just so close to having an A7 device that runs full speed, but it's not. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please leave a like, and hopefully some of you all can play NDS4IOS just a little bit faster. But besides that, remember, NDS4IOS is constantly being updated and is being worked on frequently by the developers to get to full speed on all devices. However, I do cover the updates of NDS4IOS, so if you'd like to be notified whenever I upload a video, then you can subscribe to my channel and join the operation if you haven't already. Thank you guys for watching, thanks for subscribing, and welcome to the operation.